What's up, everybody? This is Ripples in Wales back for another video. I hope you're all doing well and having a great day wherever you are in the world and whatever you're doing. It's Wednesday. It's raining here. Just done a short video for you outside a minute ago regarding the ISO standards and why I think they're a Trojan horse. Go and have a look at it. Anyhow, I stumbled across something this morning. I was looking for a video to do and I was just going back through the data, some information, and I was wondering whether Bitcoin would retrace and we'd see a capitulation of it in the market. And I just thought, I'm going to go back and look at some diagrams because something was niggling, you know. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I just thought something's up and I just can't quite put my finger on it. Anyway, I scratched around and I found some bits of information and I was like, interesting, I wonder if. So we're going to have a little bit of a look at that today. The title of the video might be something like The Fall of Bitcoin, The Rise of Phoenix. I've got a funny feeling we may see, and I would may and premise this with total speculation, this is tinfoil hat territory, and it is not financial advice. I am not financial advice, this is for intended purposes only. This is just my opinion on things, but I have a funny feeling we are likely to see a large capitulation in the market for Bitcoin. And I'm going to build a very small case why. It's not TA based, this is more random, it's just a base discuss some of the insiders and what they left for us, and we're going to have a look at what they left, and it may come to nothing, but if it comes to something, at least we had it on our radar. And I'm not basing any of my decisions in investing on the basis of this. I only hold a very small amount of Bitcoin at the minute. I've rotated out of it. I felt it was a risk-heavy choice, and my positions are mostly in XRP and the other assets. You know, you do all your own thing, you do you, and all that. But I felt that the upside is limited right now, and we are in a bear market for another 12 months before we really see the Bitcoin halving kick in. But before that, I think we're going to see a real kicking in the markets, and we're going to build a case why. All right, first of all, let's have a quick look at the BTC chart here. Sorry, it's the XRP chart. We'll have a look at XRP first of all. I've been nibbling away at the bottom. This is XRP USD on the Poloniex daily chart. We wicked down to the, again, I guess it was some sort of Fibonacci resistance band here. We've got good resistance there. I nibbled all the way down. I didn't catch this. A few of my friends caught this wick. They had buy orders put in. I'll be accumulating a little bit lower if it goes, and I think we will see a little bit lower. However, it's looking pretty damn strong at the minute. But when we look at the Bitcoin chart, and this is on the daily, we can see that it's not looking too pretty. At least in my world anyway. I think a lot of the chartists are thinking it's super positive. We may see another real push high, and I originally thought that, but I don't know. Things seem to be waning on that, and there's a long way down for it to yeah, there's we'll see anyway. All this excitement for the ETF has now seemed to have worn off, but yeah, we're in GDP. I better change this for you guys because I notice that most of the viewers are Americans, so we'll change it to US dollar. Obviously, I work in sterling pounds here, which was the old reserve world currency, I may add, the last 100 years. So Bitcoin 26092, Ethereum 1648, and XRP 0.51 cents. The BNB has taken an absolute hammering over the past few days. We've seen a drop in over 10%, and I knew this would be the case. I'm slightly concerned also for Tether further down the line, as I've mentioned in my other previous videos. I think we are going to see a day of reckoning. I see XRP moving up these rankings. I think it's just absolutely nonsensical, while we're on the topic, that they put 2 stable coins or 3 stable coins in this ranking system. It's utter, can I say this word, bollocks. Sorry, part of my profanities. I do apologise to all the readership. Why do you have stable coins in the CoinMarketCap ranking? This is a Binance controlled website, so they're going to put their own token in it. It's just so corrupt. It should be impartial. BNB chain should not be in there. It's a stable coin, and nor should the USD, and nor should Tether. They're impartial. Yet they've also got all the categories for these tokens. So why have them in the rankings? They're not layer 1s. They're not layers. Anyhow, I digress. Excuse my swearing. Anyway, this is my Twitter account at Ripples in Wales. Please come and give us a follow, and please like the video. Drop me a comment at the end of this video. Tell me what you thought of it. Tell me what you want to see in the future. Let me know what you're into, what you're not. Anyway, let's crack on. Why am I concerned about BTC? Well, I was listening to a video by Torre Corton, who's an amazing young TA analyst in the sector, and he was talking this morning about BTC. And where the heck has it gone? I think I did post it this morning. It wasn't 10 hours ago, as if it was a few hours ago. Anyway, if we can't find it, no dramas. You know, I was looking at the BTC charts overall, and I was just checking them out. Oh, here it is. Beg your pardon. Here we go. And oh, it's unavailable. Oh, it is there. And he was explaining about the risk on, risk off scenario for investing in Bitcoin, and he deemed it too high a risk even investing in at the 14,000. Never mind investing in here. And I always follow his sound logic. You know, of course, I look at some other wacky things and bring all more tinfoil hat things towards you at the minute. But you must also remember, I do look at all the TA. I look at news feeds. I look at all the data. My job in the real world, that you may not or may know, is I am a data scientist, and I work for very large corporations, and my job is to piece together very large complex data sets and bring opinions and ideas for engineers to put things under the seabed. And consequently, my idea is always to keep an open mind of all the data sets and bring them together. So I use the similar methodology in my thinking in all aspects. I won't throw out one data set. And Torre's got a fantastic view of the way he looks and things. We've seen an absolute, a massive push in the past few months for Bitcoin in its quest for, what was it? It's ETF, you know. That's the Ethereum. Where is the other thing? Yeah, so we've seen a huge load of videos. Look, I put in BlackRock BTC ETF, and just literally 1 month ago, we've heard every video. Get ready, BlackRock. You know, BlackRock is planned to take over crypto. BlackRock, you know, this guy, bloody hell. Oh my God, yeah. I'm not a big fan. Bit of a scammer. Anyway, there's a huge positive narrative about a month ago where everyone was pushing for Bitcoin ETFs, okay, by BlackRock, okay, and that is a kind of a spot ETF we're talking about. Huge, you know, everyone positive narrative, and we saw the charts, you know, suck it up, all this extra volume come in, and I just thought, wow, this is just exit liquidity for the big boys, and this is a classic thing they do. And I'd had my eyes and ears on a few things and just thought, yeah, it's interesting. Also, we saw a few days ago that there is Ethereum futures. Now, I don't know if you remember Ethereum futures, or rather Bitcoin futures. Bitcoin futures came out in 2018 by the Trump administration, and they shorted the hell out of the Bitcoin markets. Okay, now it's no strange fact that the Ethereum futures now applications are currently in play. And we've got the likes of Vitalik Buterin moving 1 million of ETH off Coinbase. Now, what do they know? What is coming that they are not telling you? You are exit liquidity. You are retail. Okay? Do not think that they have got any, you know, favors in for you guys. So we can smell there's something funny. Now, all of a sudden, I found some articles on. I just did Bitcoin spot ETF, and I found a few, you know, articles saying, you know, there's a few things that I found. There's a European Union have beaten the US markets to releasing one. But when I did, what was it now? So now we're starting to see a change in narrative here. Look, this is just a Google news search, right? And this is how I test the air with things. The SEC Insider, chance of Bitcoin spot ETF approval and a slim to none. So we're seeing the narrative change. And also I've seen an even better one. BlackRock has more to lose now from a Bitcoin price crash pre-ETF. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so the narrative is beginning to change now that we've got buyers that have come in, bought the hell out of Bitcoin and rallied it up to higher highs on this relief rally. Okay, we're going to switch gears here, and we're going to put our tinfoil hats on, and I want you to humour me, okay, because this is going to get interesting. I want you to come back to the Christmas scene with me, okay, that released by BG123. Okay, and we're gonna look at this because we look at all data sets, and why shouldn't we? All right, so we're going to get a lot of haters. That's fine. We love the haters. We saw that the Bitcoin sock is above a gavel, right? It's got this little red tag on it, okay, and it's pinned up as we call it a sock. It's actually a stocking on the fireplace. It's pinned above September, and the gavel's on it, and regulation jar is above that. And we've got this timeline. I'm going to use that word. I don't know how to use it on the BG calendar between September and December, which is what we call the level playing field. Okay, and between September and November, there seems to be a big fire burning. September is, if you look at my cursor on the screen, September is here. I think I should have a smaller picture on this. It might actually a better picture. I can probably zoom in for you. All right, here we go. There we go. So, can I just widen that out for a minute? Probably give you guys a better view. There we go. That's much better. So, between September, and November, we've got a big old fire burning. Okay, so he's giving you a fantastic understanding here of what may play out. Now, we just had the regulation molasses jar come live on BG's timeline, didn't we? Just a few days ago, where we saw the G20 releasing or crystallizing rules for the development of crypto regulations globally by the G20 pushed by the IMF. Okay, so that's the regulation jar molasses kind of scene coming live. Well, that came out in 19th of August. And we're near September now. So there's some sort of gavel. There's something changing soon here. Keep your bloody eyes on this. All right? We know there's something coming. I just got a funny feeling this gavel above Bitcoin and the regs jar is something significant and not to the positive side. Hence the red tag. Okay? There's a fire burning as well after, and often metaphors are used in these clever cryptographic cartoons is that a phoenix cannot rise unless there's a burning down. Well, what's got to burn down for the phoenix to rise should be the question. Okay, so we've got this, and we know there's going to be a huge onslaught of regulation against why has my mouse stopped working? Against these tokens by the SEC. Oh, great, the mouse has stopped working. And so these layer ones are going to be likely put through some sort of legal challenges by the current SEC, and we're going to see a bit of an onslaught there. Okay, so keep your eyes on this part, this gavel, this Bitcoin, okay, in September. Now, we also have seen the likes of Mr. Vandermeer posting back in the day, which is very interesting. The end is coming, BTC. Regulators can shut down Bitcoin anytime. Bloomberg editor. Now that's a tweet from back in the day. Okay, they can shut down. Well, what's that jar at the top there, guys? That's regulation molasses. Regulators can shut down Bitcoin Now, this isn't. I'm long Bitcoin for the future. I don't think it's going anywhere, but we must keep an eye that it's also been shut down pretty much as a payment mechanism thus far on the planet. Okay, it's been pushed to a store of value by the narrative. Now, it could become a payment. Lightning could take off in the future, but we kind of got to switch focus here for a little bit, because let's not get too bamboozled by all the media positive about Bitcoin. I want to bring your attention to a scene that I opened up ages ago, and we've talked about before, but I found something new on this today. This was the image released by Vandermeer, and it is a gargantuan of an image. There's so much going on here, but it depicts the change of the guard. Okay, the old guard being the Rothschilds, the Vatican, the old aristocracy that ran the British monarchy, or maybe the British Empire. Let's put it like that. It's got the monarchy there in the in the two dark figures that are set up, and you've got the two eyes of Horus either side of this, which stand for the all-seeing eye, the Illuminati as they call them. And you've got the connections between the embezzlement of offshore funds at the likes of the Isle of Man, Gibraltar, Iceland, Andorra, and another one, I forget, it evades me. You can see the connection to the Rothschilds dynasty, which is the central banking cartels, and the connection to the Vatican. So, you know, the PAPAL Bank and the Vatican Bank were probably one of all. Now, the interesting thing is here, we've got Bitcoin. We've got the connection of Bitcoin to the Vatican in this image. Now, I didn't create this message. This image was created by Ross Vandermeer or Marvin Gaye. We've also got the image of Bitcoin connected to offshore embezzlement of gold and connected back to the Vatican. So the Vatican have been involved in Bitcoin heavily by the looks of things, and they've been using it. Now, quite interesting enough, we've got Mr. Brian Armstrong from Coinbase, who seems to have his hands tied by the deep state, but has also seemed to be connected to this offshore gold embezzlement through Coinbase. Now, I can't make out what this image is here, but you can see there's a connection to the we're going to say the British Empire, or the British crest. That's what we're going to look at it. We've also seen connections to JP Morgan through Bitcoin and the Vatican, so we know where JPM lies. So all of a sudden, we've opened up another layer on this, is that the Bitcoin has its roots in an escape method, or a store by the old guard. And that would make a very promising and understandable case for us to kind of postulate why there needed to be a replacement for Bitcoin, and why there needed to be a push against Bitcoin potentially. We've seen Trump, who was very anti-Bitcoin in the past, and we know that Trump had been around the world in his 2018 setting up deep, strong trade alliances, which were called the level playing field. We looked at this before. In the centre of this diagram, we've got the deep state, with its connection to all the central banks, SWIFT in the centre here, the Washington DC and these deep roots, and the ECB straight in the centre. Okay, and we've got the deep state with the Illuminati, all-seeing eye, and we've got there's so much going on in these images. This part of the bottom here I haven't looked into yet. This is going to be interesting. I need to decode that, or start installing. I think Reborn 13 today. Good. Decoding this, we'll have to use this. But anyway, my main point in bringing you to this is that Bitcoin was mentioned in it, and of course I kind of overlooked it before because we were looking at BRICS side of things, and the more layers you pull off this. So what the hell has Bitcoin been doing connected to the Vatican and the old PAPAL banking systems? Well, by the looks of things, it was used as an embezzlement tool for offshore laundering. They'd been using it, and it was probably a flight for them to create safety for their own monies, which leads the question as to what the DAI and all that I've always asked, which is, was it created as a tool to be able to be a flight for safety for the elite? This is a fascinating topic. It's one that I don't know a huge amount about, but it's there, so we're not going to ignore it. And this is really kind of deep level rabbit hole stuff here, but it just brings me back to that one question, is that I'm seeing a lot of stuff play out in a very short space of time here in this scene, in this Christmas scene, in this particular quadrant that I've brought up here. There is an awful lot that's going to go on between now and we're going to call it spring of next year. I think the scene probably runs to January or February 2024. But my thoughts are, and my feelings are, we're going to see an acceleration of events, both positive and negative, for the markets. So all eyes on Bitcoin and this regulation hammer above it. I've got a funny feeling it's not going to be good news for it. Even if we see a push above, I think that gavel is going to come down on it. And for the Phoenix to rise, you know, you've got to have a change. Now I want to bring you to a little video. I've almost forgot about that there. Come on. Right, I want you to listen to this now. If we can get rid of this bloody video, I'm going to mute it for a second so we don't have to listen to our deep friend lifestyle trader, who I think is pushing his videos very much so because he's terrified of the change of the currency markets. Anyway, I digress. Back to the Ross Vandermeer video. I want to listen to what he says. Come on. You can do it. Hold on a minute. Let's go.
Begin transmission. Today's date is February 6th, 2020. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is about time. I, Ross Vandermeer, also known as Marvin Gaye, am leaving this one last message to you all. Before I take a step, please understand that I am not here to gain any credibility or popularity. It is your choice to accept my voice. Those who have ears will hear. Do you remember what I have been talking about all year long? The rise of digital economy and finance, cryptocurrencies, fall of old guards, fall of Bitcoin, rise of Phoenix.
Right, that bit. Did you hear what he just said? Fall of Bitcoin, rise of Phoenix. Now where the hell have we just talked about 2 seconds ago? Fall of Bitcoin, rise of Phoenix. He said before it, have you been listening to what I've been saying to you all along? Rise of digital economy and finance, rise of cryptocurrencies. Is that what he said? Let's just go back 1 second.
It is your choice to accept my voice. Those who have ears will hear. Do you remember what I have been talking about all year long? The rise of digital economy and finance, cryptocurrencies, fall of old guards.
Rise of digital currencies, digital economy and finance, and cryptocurrencies, fall of old guards.
Fall of Bitcoin.
Fall of Bitcoin.
Rise of Phoenix.
Rise of Bitcoin.
XRP standard economy.
Right. So, and then he goes into talking about this whole image that we've seen in the background here. Okay, this Ross Vandermeer one that's at the back. He then starts talking about, you know, the final polished one. But my point is, in his video, he references BG's work. Now that's phenomenal because they're cross-referencing each other. Now, you know, he just says the fall of Bitcoin, rise of Phoenix. That's in this picture. So, are these all insiders working together? Now I'm going to bring you together to another one. Now, this is why I think there's a storm coming. I've said before, on 2 of the Ripple Riddler videos, they both show an enormous storm, and we've seen the beginning of the storm, but we haven't seen the capitulation of Bitcoin that I was expecting. And these are OG videos released by the Ripple Riddler, and Born of Stars and the Storm coming. Well, we've watched the storms coming before. We know that there's a cataclysmic event occurring, and whether that's the old financial system that's going to take a bit of a whipper this winter, and you know, maybe the need for a liquidity provision comes, but you know, also in the Born of Stars video, let's just have a little bit of a look at this. You see an enormous storm play out in it. Both have enormous storms, so it's important to cross-reference all of these. We're going to get a video. We're going to get a. Hold on 1 second while this buffers. I've got a funny feeling we're going to try and get an advert. No, here we go. Let's just fast forward it a minute because time is precious for us all. I appreciate that. Right. So, the storm. In this scene as well, right? And bear in mind, guys, I've looked at these hundreds and hundreds of times trying to decipher what they're showing. All they're showing is storm. Right, we can also go back to the video by the Ripple Riddler in terms of the storm here. I'm going to finish up with this one. But my point is, is that there's change coming, okay? And my intuition...
Best side hustle.
No, I don't think it's the best side hustle at all, mate. D-Style. Jesus, these YouTube videos. Right. Storm. This is what we're after. Now, is this the fireplace? This is the question. You know, the fire. This isn't a riddle. He's serious about this. They're serious about this. You get the picture. Okay, two little things before we close this off. On the rug, there's a pool of blood. Okay, it's a red patch, but it's a pool of blood. Okay, look at it as in a sea of red. Okay, you've got the controlling arm of the SEC with a recycling machine pulling everything across, and you've got this burning down and the regulatory hammer above Bitcoin. Okay, just beware, be mindful, heads on a swivel. This is my thoughts to you all. You know, are we going to see the fall of Bitcoin and the rise of the Phoenix? We'll leave it there. I hope that's been useful. Just doing some dot connecting. It's tinfoil hat stuff. That's fine. We're going to go down that road. We're going to have a look at everything. Nothing may come to pass, and I could be completely wrong, but it's worth covering it anyway. Anyway, have a great day wherever you are in the world. See you in the next video. Be blessed.